As business owners, I think we need to learn lessons from the past and try and use this to help us create a much stronger business. So the lessons that we've learnt over the last 18 months from COVID, which has been one of the biggest crises that we'll ever see in our lifetime, has really shown a lot of things that businesses can do better in order to make sure that they survive. The businesses we've seen that survived have all had similar attributes. Firstly, they all had cash reserves. So the best and strongest businesses that have come out of this went in with already having a cash reserve. And by a cash reserve, I mean they had some cash that would get them through at least a couple of months' worth of trading without any turnover. So they were already prepared for any downturn. Point two I'd like to make is that debt levels, whilst debt can help you leverage your business and help you expand and grow, too much debt can actually be a real killer. Getting that level of debt right, that it's not going to be something that destroys your business, is a real balancing act. And the businesses that have come out strongly generally had low levels of debt. Point three I'd like to make is that what the crisis has allowed us to do with a lot of businesses is actually plan what the business should look like. Focus on what your strengths are, focus on what your weaknesses are, and then plan moving forward accordingly. Now, with COVID, obviously long-term planning's been really, really difficult, but short-term planning, so the next month, the next 3 months, the next 6 months, has been crucial. And the clients that have done it really, really well have come out the other side with a much stronger business and a much better focus on where they should dedicate their energy in order to get the best return and in order to make sure that their business has the best chance of surviving this crisis. The fourth point I'd like to make is around marketing and advertising. So through this crisis, a lot of businesses have had to get out there and look at better ways to market their business, better ways to advertise their business, better ways to reach a different audience. So they've also looked at diversifying products, diversifying into different industries or different markets, and looking at what they can do in order to make sure their business survives. And quite often, like a couple of our clients have actually turned their business into a completely different business through this crisis because it forced them to go into areas where they wouldn't have gone otherwise due to complacency or due to just the status quo. So the crisis has actually been used to create a much more valuable and a much stronger business by some of our clients. And lastly, the businesses that have performed the best through COVID are the ones who have really focused on what their strengths are and looked at how they can continue on with those strengths into either their existing market or into different markets. And those businesses have thrived throughout COVID, and some have, it's meant that they've managed to survive. So some have thrived, some have survived, and the ones that have survived that may not have survived otherwise are the ones who have taken on and really focused on what their strengths and weaknesses are.